Oh, hello, Your Grace. Welcome back to the Crown and Scepter. Always a pleasure to have your patronage here. You have such a wonderful taste for refinement. How can I help you today? Oh, I see. So you're looking for a bit more of a unique tiara. Well, I know Your Grace appreciates the effect that a tiara can have on both an ensemble but also on you as a person. The level of grace, dignity, regality, refinement, and poise that the right tiara can offer. Quite a regal experience, I suppose. Wonderful. So you're looking for something that could spark a conversation, yes? Or perhaps you're looking for something powerful that could benefit someone of your stature. All right. Why don't you tell me a bit more? What exactly is the situation that you find yourself going into? I see. A stately dinner with some tense relations. Yes, that could be quite the taxing situation. Well, as you know, all of the tiaras, crowns, circlets and diadems that we sell here at the Crown and Scepter are not only beautiful and refined, created by the finest craftsmen, but they all have a bit of a magical benefit as well. Spells, protections, perhaps clarity that it might offer to the wearer, all kinds of different benefits, on top of being beautiful, of course. Well, let's look at a few options for something that might benefit you at this particular event, alright? Something that might help ease tensions or deter any sort of deceit. Got a few ideas. Yes, I think I know where to start. One moment, Your Grace. Now, this particular piece, certainly not your idea of a typical gemstone encrusted tiara. I wouldn't necessarily suggest wearing this to a regal ball or something, but it is very, very striking and holds quite a lot of culture and history to it. This is called the High Regent's Crest. Bold, very structured, and quite commanding, both in appearance and just in presence. It's made up of all of these beautiful crystal polished stones, either quartz or agate there, in beautiful shades of cream, yellow, deep rust, and some darker smoky ones as well. And then of course the centerpiece here, we have this beautiful diamond right in the center, encased by little platinum stones, and then these two lovely filigree crescent moons carved to catch the light and command respect. You see, this crown was not worn by a royal per se, but was worn by a very, very trusted advisor of a young king. You see, his father died tragically in a war, and he ascended to the throne at a very, very young age. He was, of course, trained to be king from a very young age, but everyone thought he would have a bit more time. But luckily, he had at his side a wonderful, kind man who helped to advise him in matters far beyond his years. Sometimes when you have young royals and royal viziers or regents, they turn out to be a bit self-serving, taking advantage of the monarch's youth. But this man, that was not the case. He helped the young king rule with wisdom and discernment, and the kingdom entered into a golden age of peace and prosperity. After the passing of the High Regent, the king, the young king who had now grown, he enchanted this and gave it to his son to help him also rule someday with wisdom and discernment. Now, this particular crown holds an enchantment that allows the wearer to, once per day, compel absolute honesty in those directly addressed by the wearer. So once per day you can ask a question of any one person and they must answer you honestly and the whole truth, not just partial truths that can still be deceptive. It's quite a powerful and foolproof enchantment. Now, as I said, it can only be used once per day, but used at the correct time, it can be an invaluable tool for a ruler, a diplomat, an advisor, anyone who finds themselves in a particular situation with some tension, as it sounds as though your stately dinner might have. You can only use it once, but it is a very powerful, commanding piece. Certainly a very unique design as well. Right, you like the ability, but not quite the appearance of it. Not to worry. It is a rather ancient piece, not exactly up to the modern standards of what we might consider a tiara. That's all right. I have some other options that I think you might like too. Now, this piece is not for the faint of heart or the faint of neck. It's very heavy. It is a rather large tiara, but it is guaranteed to be a showstopper wherever you may go. Sometimes having a tiara that is regal but understated gives you an element of graciousness. But sometimes when you walk into a particular event that is very high profile, perhaps a bit tense, maybe you want your crown to be the centre of attention. Well, this one you would certainly accomplish that. This is a beautiful example of high regality in a beautiful steepled design here. You can see this design effortlessly combines lovely sparkling diamonds and a deep green emerald, enchanting in its ethereal glow. Now this tiara almost seems to hum with an ancient power. The teardrop design here of these lovely stones holds in them a very powerful and that will amplify your magical talents. It doesn't hold a particular spell per se, but it will help to give you a little extra power to whatever it is that you wish to accomplish with your magic. Your spells are smoother and stronger. Your focus is more intense. It also can amplify your movements to be a bit more graceful and regal. It is an absolutely stunning piece. You can see these emeralds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Descending in size and height there. And the showcase here, this beautiful emerald in the centre, brimming with ancient power and beautiful, deep colour. This design, it's reminiscent of the Empire style, while also having some lovely floral filigree elements to it as well. And the band here dotted with beautiful diamond circles down here creates an absolutely unforgettable piece that will sure to draw attention from anyone in the room. This is a piece, as I said, that should not be taken lightly, not worn to something more casual, but in the right circumstances could be an absolutely beautiful asset. Now, not everyone who comes into my shop would be able to wear something this large and bold and pull it off, but you, Your Grace, I think you could handle it. Now, as I said, this tiara is a bit heavy, so I wouldn't suggest wearing it at an event that's going to be all day, but for a stately dinner, it should be all right. As you can see, it's got the same open caging design as some of the others that I've already shown you, so it takes away some of that weight, having that open design, and it just looks very beautiful and elegant. A true statement of your regality, ensuring everyone in the room knows that you belong there, that you are meant to be there and meant to be listened to and taken seriously. Certainly a statement with this piece, but of course it's not for everyone. Would you like to try it on, see how heavy it is? Of course, as I said, it can be a bit cumbersome if you're not used to wearing something quite so bold. But for the statement it makes, perhaps it's worth it. Just tuck the hair back there a little bit. There. Now, since it is open in the back, you could of course wear it with your hair up or down. It is quite versatile. The deep green emeralds, of course, well, they wouldn't work with every colour gown, but they do complement quite a few different colours. And of course, any sort of cream, white, gold, champagne, bronze, of course green, anything like that, you could pull this off quite nicely. What do you think? It is a bit heavy, yes, I know. You're looking for something perhaps a bit lighter then. All right, of course. Not to worry, Your Grace. It is quite the piece, but you have to have the right sort of vision for it and the right event to wear it to. Not to worry. If we're looking for something that will be light and comfortable, but still give you some benefit, I might have just the thing. Now, as you can tell immediately, this one is quite a bit smaller than the other. Very lightweight, but no less beautiful in its design. This one you can see is a lovely silver tiara here with some lovely stars and a crescent moon, and then some beautiful swirling down here as well. This is the crown of the Celestine star. You can see it almost radiates with a beautiful, mysterious, ethereal light. All of these little diamonds, there may not be any one particular diamond that's incredibly large, but they're all, of course, perfectly cut, the colour and clarity matched exactly to give a lovely, cohesive view. You can see this beautiful star in the centre here, draws the eyes immediately, and gives a sense of divinity almost. Now, this crown, it also has the ability to glow faintly in the dark, so it offers a sense of guidance and illuminates the wearer with a soft sort of starlight aura. A physical glow, but also a glow of the energy that radiates a sense of peace. This crown, when worn, calls upon the stillness of the night to instill a sense of hope and calm wherever it is that you find yourself. It's a beautiful, understated tiara that gives a sense of regality without being so bold as to, well, distract from other things in the room. But it has quite the benefit as well to the wearer and those around it. You can see the base here, mostly a straight line with little diamonds on it, and then a little point at the centre here to bring the attention down to your face. Creates a beautiful continuity. Of course, the symbols of stars are often associated with wisdom and a sort of transcendence, a new light and hope. And the crescent moon is associated with mystery, magic, and also growth and new beginnings, moving forward in a way that benefits everyone, as long as you're focused. So, quite a bit smaller, definitely lightweight and very comfortable, but still has quite a lovely benefit to it as well. Would you like to try this one on? Of course, Your Grace, I would be happy to. Now, as I said before, with your skin tone, honestly, I think either gold or silver looks very nice on you. It's more about the ensemble, I would say, than just skin tone alone. But the sparkle of those diamonds, yes, that complements your features very nicely. It makes your eyes sparkle beautifully as well. What do you think? Much lighter, right? Yes, of course. You know, for where you're going, it is a very beautiful crown, but perhaps you would like something with just a little more structure to it. We can always come back to this one, don't worry, but I do have a few other options that I would like you to see before you make a final decision, alright? Okay. Now for this one we are going a bit heavier again, not quite as heavy as the Spellbound Diadem, that one is quite substantial. But this one still offers you a sense of grandeur that might be beneficial to your particular event, but also has with it a soft regality that I think you might very much like. This is called the Opaline Veil. It's an absolutely beautiful example of a tiered diadem with some lovely Art Nouveau designs to it. You can see it's a steepled design here with the different points going down at the crown. It covers a bit more than half the head here. So regardless of where you are and where other people are, you will be sure to sparkle. Now these are beautiful opaline diamonds. I showed you another crown the last time you were here that had these same sort of stones in them. Almost seem to contain a portal to another realm in each of the beautiful lustrous stones. In the centre here you've got a lovely teardrop opaline diamond, and then a lovely almond there as well, and then almond-shaped diamonds down the edges of the crown. Now the nice thing about this one, you've got this sort of line in the middle here that also offers a bit of structure, along with the sort of scrawling filigree reminiscent of natural elements. So it's sort of the best of both worlds there. Structure and free-form beauty, all in a beautiful, beautiful design, with those absolutely enchanting sparkling diamonds. Now, as you can tell, this crown shimmers with an almost divine sort of light. Well, that is part of the enchantment of this particular piece. You see, this crown shimmers with a protective energy that grants the wearer resistance to emotional manipulation or any sort of illusion magic. So in a situation where emotions might be high, where tension can lead to anger, perhaps feelings of inferiority, perhaps confusion, any of those sorts of things, this crown could help keep your head clear and allow you to speak with wisdom and dignity. And of course, it is also a very, very beautiful piece that would be sure to command the attention of everyone in the room. It's hard to ignore that beautiful sparkle as it moves, even the slightest nod of your head, especially when paired with a lovely delicate smile, be almost impossible to ignore. Would you like to try this one on? I promise it's not as heavy as the Spellbound Diadem. It's still a bit substantial, but I think you could certainly wear this for an extended period of time without feeling fatigued. Of course, not as light as the Celestine star, but very commanding presence. You look positively divine in that. It's amazing what a tiara, what those beautiful jewels can do to a person's natural beauty. Not taking away from your beauty, of course, but just enhancing it, showcasing it. And when a piece such as this fills you with a sense of confidence, that translates to your physical appearance as well. Confidence is a very appealing thing to have. Well, not overconfidence, of course, but the right amount of poise and confidence. What do you think of it? Good, good, yes. Yes, it is still a bit heavy, I understand. Perhaps it would be worth it for the benefit that it would give, but I can show you one that is a little bit lighter than this. Perhaps it might be more your speed. I thought this one would also be nice because it does work with quite a few different gowns as well. The shimmer here, it changes colour from pinks, blues, purples and greens. It could lend itself to complement with almost any sort of ensemble you choose. But I do have another one that would also offer some wonderful benefits, though it is perhaps a bit more specific when it comes to colour. But it's actually quite a legendary piece. It might be just what you're looking for. Alright, let me get it. Now, before I show you this crown, I have a question. How much do you know about the lost kingdom of Eldoria? A myth, you're right. Many people do consider it to be nothing more than a myth. It was a kingdom from centuries ago that was said to possess an incredible amount of power, ingenuity, and prosperity, of course. But it was destroyed very mysteriously. Some say that the kingdom angered the gods, that their technological prowess, their wisdom, their peace made the gods jealous, and so they destroyed them. Others say that it was perhaps one single king of this great kingdom who found himself arrogant and challenged the gods, and so then it was destroyed. Still others say that perhaps it was some sort of a natural catastrophe, a large earthquake, a giant wave, perhaps an erupting volcano, any of those sorts of things. Even the most advanced of peoples can still be destroyed from something like that. And yet others say that it was never really destroyed, but just disappeared. Perhaps the Eldorians found a portal to another realm. Perhaps they escaped the turmoil of this world and went underground, went to the skies. The stories are endless. And it's one of those stories that there's so much uncertainty that so many people do consider it simply a myth. With uncertainty, sometimes stories that should not be forgotten are disregarded. History turns to legend, legend to myth, and only a very few remember the truth. Well, let's just say that the long-lost kingdom was very much real. I do not have the answers about what happened to that kingdom and its people, but I do have a very, very powerful relic from that time. This is certainly not a crown that I would show to just anyone, but your grace has always proven to be wise beyond your years, very regal, poised and graceful. I think that you could perhaps quite benefit from this. I would ask, though, that if you choose this crown, you keep its identity to yourself. You're welcome to wear it, just don't talk about the legend, if you don't mind. It would raise quite a lot of questions about my shop here that I would prefer to not have to answer. But anyway, it is an absolutely beautiful piece. It is sort of the best of both worlds between some of the larger crowns that I showed you and the smaller crown. And it also has absolutely wonderful magical abilities as well. the lost crown of Eldoria, said to have been worn by the last crown princess before the kingdom disappeared, was destroyed, or was transcended, whatever you would like to believe. Now you can see this is an absolutely beautiful piece. The vines, the filigree here, reminiscent of a beautiful hedge of crystals and glitter and magic. It's made of these lovely deep emeralds and smoky diamonds that catch the light just beautifully, and yet it is still a very open design here that makes it still very lightweight. It gives you the height and the presence without being so weighty on the head. It's a bit less of a steepled design. It goes down a little bit, of course, on the sides, but it's a bit more like a bandeau sort of design here. But it is absolutely breathtaking. You can see on the back here, it's made of a beautiful copper gold metal, sort of a reddish gold, that complements the depth of the stones on here absolutely beautifully. It's very comfortable to wear as well. It's a decent size, but still very, very lightweight. Now, aside from just being a very, very ancient relic, this also has some wonderful magical abilities as well, because it holds the memories of its former rulers. Now, I'm told that not everyone can access these memories, only someone who is pure of heart and does not wish to use the wisdom granted by this crown for their own means or to harm other people, but to help, to serve, as I believe your grace does. Wearing this crown grants the wearer glimpses into the lost knowledge and long buried wisdom of the rulers of Eldoria. Some of that wisdom might be hard gained from them. We can learn quite a lot from people's successes, but also quite a lot from watching their failures too, learning exactly how we don't want to do a thing. But either way, the wisdom and understanding encased in this beautiful crown, well, I would say it is rivaled by very little in this world. Perhaps you will be the one to unlock the secrets of the lost kingdom of Eldoria. Sometimes the myths are absolutely true. Maybe you could even rediscover the ruins of the kingdom, bring their inventions, their beauty and their prosperity back to life. Nothing in history has ever truly gone, not if there are those who seek to learn from it. Now, of course, aside from the magical benefits, it is also just a very, very beautiful piece. Incredibly unique. Not so much like the lighter white diamond crowns that you may see in abundance. Something that has quite a lot of depth to it, not just in the lore, but also just in the presence of the piece. It is something that emanates a regal command, but in not quite so in your face as it could be. Beautiful, elegant, still very lightweight, and bursting with wisdom to those who seek it for the right reasons. Would you like to try it on? Good. I'm so very glad. Something tells me that this might be exactly what you've been looking for. And exactly who I've been looking for too. Nothing. We are just tuck that behind there. How does that feel? Good, good. You do. You hear the whispers. Well, they may not be coherent quite yet. That is a very good sign. The moment that it touched your head, I think that it understood that you were someone that it can entrust its wisdom to. It might take some time, but I think that you two would be a very good match. Maybe. What do you think, Your Grace? Of course, the decision ultimately lies with you. Good. I am so very, very pleased to hear that. I've been waiting a very long time for someone to come into my shop and be the right person for this particularly beautiful crown. I'm very glad that it's you. Well, shall I get this polished for you and wrapped up very nicely, and then you can take it with you? When exactly is this event that you're going to? Good, alright. That should give you enough time to find the right sort of attire to match something like this. Of course, there's quite a few different options that could complement this, but something tells me you'll be able to find the perfect gown, now that you have the perfect crown. Good. Well, I will wrap that up for you. And, I look forward to seeing more of you, whether it's in my shop or out there in the kingdom, doing good with the wisdom that you learn from it. Thank you, Your Grace. It's always an honor to serve you here at the Crown and Scepter. I'll see you